Warriors and Chris Broussard. Everyone's like, you know what? Give up on him. Broussard said no. Steph had 39. Warriors win at home.
So outrageous.
Granted, the frisky Pelicans were on a back-to-back, but still. Golden State has won 4 of their last 5. Here's the standings in that 6th spot.
Not the Lakers, huh? What weren't we told that the Lakers, when we sat down in the chairs today,
March
we were
30th,
told the Lakers would be there.
I said March 30th. What is today? I asked you right before the segment because I knew you guys would try to misquote
I didn't do
me
anything.
once
It wasn't
again.
you guys. It was Brew.
Go ahead, Brew. Well, I don't even know what the question is.
Well, because he was jumping.
This is all I got to say.
What was that?
My arms wide like this.
Oh.
Victory. Nick, you must have offered me an olive branch every other week of the NBA season.
Yeah, and you took it when the Suns got
The
Durant.
Warriors, after 20 games, they were 10-10.
Yeah.
After 40 games, they were 20-20. And now here they are at 5. This is what they are,
Yes.
bro. No, this is what they are. What we saw last night, I watched the game. Oh, my goodness. That was vintage. The ball movement, the player movement, there were back cuts, there was the extra pass. It was phenomenal. They didn't even have my man Andrew Wiggins.
But not
all right, they
him.
did it. Look, Kevon Looney was phenomenal. He's one of the best, if not the best, offensive rebounder in the league.
Oh, okay.
All right. So he has more offensive rebounds than any other player in the NBA this year. He got them extra points. And what does that mean for a team that's the best shooting team in the NBA? You're getting them extra possessions?
Hello.
Oh, it means 3 points coming soon. All right? Draymond was phenomenal. We'll get to Draymond a little later. But they are ready. Like they have said, look, it's playoff time. It's getting near. They had 32 assists yesterday. I got to say this about Draymond. Jordan Poole fell down one. Draymond ran over, picked him up, helped him. The chemistry is there.
Stop.
No,
but hold on.
And you said 4 of their last 5 and 2-0 because you can't say, they look good at Chase Center.
Yeah.
No, they're 2-0 on the road, including beating your Dallas Mavericks their last 2 games. So
2-0 on the road in their last 2. I'm sure they have fixed it. They beat the Rockets. They beat Dallas on a game that came down to the final possession.
They're scared.
But I'm going to pin you down here, Brew, because you keep saying. And with all your, I never left the Warriors except for the day after the Suns got Kevin Durant.
Did I make
you
a
called
prediction?
him the favorite.
Flirting.
Hold on. But that doesn't matter.
I
This
was
is what I want to pin you
analyzing.
down on. Do you believe in the Warriors no matter what happens with Andrew Wiggins?
Well, here's what I'll say to you. Because what I have said is that
they have to be fully healthy.
I've said that, but I've also said the Suns with Kevin Durant should win the West. I never said I picked them. They should win the West. If Andrew Wiggins comes back, Kevin Durant or not, Golden State will beat Phoenix.
Right, but with Durant. Okay, so here's the thing.
And Kuminga, will you admit that Kuminga is balling?
Kuminga the last week has played really well.
But all
season long, he's been the same guy he was last year, and you're supposed to take a jump from year 1 to year 2.
But defensively, he's played well. He's learning how to play winning basketball.
I understand.
He's moving without the rock. He's important.
I'm not gonna. Not that you're trying to do this, but I don't want to have my opinion of Kuminga misrepresented. I am not saying Kuminga is not one day going to be a very useful player or a good player. What I am saying is right now they needed him to take a leap from year 1 to year 2. He did not take it, and that is one of the reasons they have struggled. And I heard Wilds, one of the few original things he said on Bill Simmons' podcast that wasn't stolen directly from me, to wax poetic about the Warriors' home record, which is the exact same as the Cavs' home record. It's a very good home record.
But it's what, third best in the league?
The Cavs are 30-8. The Warriors are now 31-8, actually. It was the same, but the Warriors won last night. And no, they have a very good home record. They won again last night after being down 20 in the first half. And a lot of it was vintage Warriors stuff, the third quarter avalanche, all of that. That does not change the fact that we are still in a position where, in my opinion, they go home after round 1. They are not beating Sacramento. They are not beating Memphis.
Not beating Sacramento.
No, I am not in my analysis of the 2023 playoffs incorporating the 2012 season, which is part of everyone that was like the Kings haven't been in the playoffs the next amount of years. They got Sabonis midway through last year, and Fox has been a first-team All-NBA caliber guard. Memphis, I know you believe.
Memphis is tough.
Memphis, I do actually think the Warriors maybe could beat Denver, but I don't think the Warriors are going to beat the 8th seed.
They would definitely beat Denver.
But the other part of this, Brew, can I ask a Wiggins question quickly before we move on? I know we want to get to Draymond. I don't know, and no one knows what's going on with Andrew Wiggins. I know Draymond got very mad because he addressed some rumor. I don't even know what the rumor he was addressing was, but it seemed like it was out of bounds. I want to ask you this, Brew, as a journalist. What are we and what are we not entitled to know about why a key member of the defending champions is gone? What is the what line are we supposed to walk as far as respecting a man's privacy, which we all agree, and understanding these are public-facing jobs, and there is a level of privacy you give up when you have if I was gone from the show for 6 weeks randomly, it'd be fair if some media guy was like, "Where's Nick Wright, man?" Like, what is inbounds and out of bounds?
It would be fair and inbounds if some reporter breaks the story about what's really going on with Andrew Wiggins, because it is affecting basketball. It's affecting his job and everybody else's job that's around the league. So it would be fair now.
If you got a real story.
Yeah, if you really break that story. But it would, it would cause problems with your relationship with the Warriors and with their team and the front office, maybe even with the NBA. So that's why there might be some reporters that do know, but just aren't reporting it. And I get that because we all know things we don't report. But when it affects the game, that's a different story. So if somebody wanted to break it, it would be inbounds.
Draymond picked up his 17th technical last night. One more until he gets suspended.
Again, because he's already been suspended once for this.
So he's shocked, even though he pushed Brandon Ingram and then shoved him. He's like, what? What are you talking about, me? What'd I do?
So here's the thing. Kerr's right about that moment, and credit to Draymond for kind of hacking the system on foul trouble and technicals, which is he knows once he gets his first tech, the refs will let him do anything, which is how he got away with what happened with Herb Jones. That's a technical in any circumstance that it doesn't. We can show it to you, I hope. Yeah. The kick. This is in a game as chippy as this, or even a non-chippy game, he does a leg lock, then none of that is a natural motion. Just like it wasn't a natural motion when he was kneeing people in the groin years ago.
I hear you. I do think it's questionable. Okay. I mean, you can't prove any of that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right. Beyond a shadow of a doubt?
No, that's the standard to send someone to jail, not the standard for a technical foul. We don't need proof beyond any reasonable doubt to give someone a technical foul. That's a technical foul. But Draymond, listen.
I'm sorry.
You play by the rules that the refs have allowed, and when he gets in foul trouble or an early tech, they let him do whatever he wants, and he takes advantage of it. So be it. Here is why I do not think last night was a good sign, though. Because he did already have a tech. The game was still deeply in question when that happened, and he can't help himself. Just like, it's one thing, early on, he got the first tech, it fired us up, fine. In the fourth quarter, when it's a 4-point game, and they don't challenge a play he wants them to challenge, Bob Myers had to come down from the stands to calm him down and get him back re-engaged. When he gets up to that level, that makes him one of the most destructive in a good way, defensive presences of the last 20 years in the NBA. He can't throttle it back. And he's just unhinged.
He hasn't been able to.
It works until it doesn't, right? Yeah, it works until you get suspended for the finals. It works until he gets another tech and they miss out on maybe a top 6 seed because he's suspended for a game because now he's one away. He already was suspended earlier. It works until you slug one of your teammates. It works until it doesn't.
So let me show you a graphic, Brew. Draymond the last 5 games on court, off court. Obviously much better with him on the court. So the question is this, Brew. Do you think the Warriors are in danger of being too lackadaisical or too intense? I would say too lackadaisical, and Draymond needs to turn it up, just like Steve Kerr said. And if he has to go a little bit too far, so be it.
This is nothing new. This is how they've been, because your 2 best players, Steph and Clay, are mellow. You need Draymond and the energy and intensity he brings. And we get it. Look. We could argue all day that cost them the 2016 championship, right? Where they were up 3-1. He gets suspended from the game. But, to your point, they don't get Kevin Durant if they win that series. Draymond was a big part of getting Kevin Durant, so maybe it evened out or whatever. But this is who it's like when you had Dennis Rodman with the Bulls or any other team. You take the good with the bad.
No,
and you're right. Like, it could blow up.
I understand
but it's been that way throughout his whole career, and it's worked out.
Listen, everybody thinks I hate Draymond. There are parts of Draymond's on-court persona and particularly his off-court media dealings that I find embarrassing. On the court, what he's accomplished, I argued back when nobody here knew who I was that he should have won 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. I think he is not. I don't think Klay is the second best player of this dynasty. I think Draymond is. I think Draymond, what he unlocks with Steph, has been just incredibly, almost undeniable how valuable it's been. I also think it is a terrifying predicament for Steve Kerr and Bob Myers that Draymond is at this point in his career only effective when he is kind of out of his mind. And when he's out of his mind, he can't reel it in. The Herb Jones thing is noteworthy. There was a game that was a losable game that they had to have. He had already gotten a flagrant. He had already gotten a technical. And he finds himself on his back kicking somebody. And he just got away with it.
I don't think that's the only time he's effective. His playmaking for them on the offensive end, which is obviously cerebral, that's why one reason you think he's the second best player on this dynasty. So that, he is he's volatile.
When he's most effective.
But he's also a smart player that they need on the offensive end, too.
Yeah, 13 assists last night.
No, it was a great comeback.
Great.
Yeah, it might be the pinnacle
Speaking
of
of comebacks,
what's
I'm back on the Warriors.
Oh, you're back.
I've been on the Warriors.
Oh, wait,
I'm
back on the Warriors.
I
just said.
Nick doesn't know. I said that for Nick.
I said that
for Nick because he thought I was going.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.